The Lord has a special word for somebody today, and I'm so excited for you because this is specifically for the person who's been working hard. You've been training, you feel like God has put extra challenges on you, and it just kind of seems like you're never really arriving. Does that make sense? God has you in the spiritual weight room. Now, if you are ever somebody who goes and works out at the gym, you're going to understand this quite easily. When the Lord puts you through trials and lots of different temptations, like he allows temptation to kind of come upon you, he allows the challenges. It's almost like he allows Satan to like bother you. You've wondered like, why is these things happening? How come I can't catch a break? God has you in training for a reason. This is your sign. This is your word to go seek the Lord on it if you don't already know. And if you do already know what that is, what God is growing you up to do, what he is putting on your heart, if you do know, this is a time to be encouraged by this word because he's specifically speaking to you today. He wants you to feel seen, heard, and loved. To humanize it doesn't really make sense. Be encouraged today. Before we get to the blessing, before God blesses us, there are certain things that we need to be matured inside of our character. We need to become more Christ-like. We need to be somebody that God could give the blessing to, for example. We can't go from not understanding how to live a life like that we're praying for in one day and then overnight just be completely equipped and ready to live and maintain that, if that makes sense. And it's kind of like an analogy similar to a college degree. Now, when you go through college, a lot of times those courses and the things that they're having you do, you're like, wow, like I don't really see how this applies. But there are more lessons inside our challenges and the things that we're assigned to do than the actual problem that we're trying to solve. And that is a word in itself. And the Lord specifically does not want you to cry anymore. He doesn't want you to cry anymore. He wants you to rejoice and praise his name. Thank him for what he's about to do. Thank him for the challenges. In Job, the book of Job, chapter 2, it says that it was all taken away. And then instead of cursing God's name, he said, you give and you take away. He grieved, but then he praised the Lord for his goodness anyway. And that is such an inspiring story for us when we're going through the hard times, when we're going through the weight room, when we're when we're training our spiritual muscles to maintain the blessing. It's the process. It's the process, you guys, that we become that person that God has always destined you to be. When you're in the weight room, what's happening? You are breaking down muscle fibers. It's painful. It takes discipline to go there. And you're sore afterwards because your muscles are in the middle of repairing themselves. You've broken down muscle fibers. So I just got back to my car. Also wanted to say and remind you that, you know, when you're working out and you're starting to do better for yourself, you're starting to be more consistent, everyone knows that it's not going to be an overnight result. Everyone knows that there's an expected length of time to see a certain result, and how great that result is, the longer, usually the process is longer for a greater result. It's often paralleled similarly in the spirit. When God is doing something big in your life, that big one that you know and feel in your spirit, the thing that he called you to do, the thing that you are praying for because you feel like your will and his will are aligned, your heart and his will are aligned, that also takes time. That also is not going to be an overnight result. It's really easy to be like, well, it hasn't just been overnight. It's been maybe a few years, a long time. Don't lose heart. Our timeline does not always match up with the Lord's, and there's always a good reason for that. We can trust our Father. He is a good Father. He doesn't give things to us before we're ready because he knows that he can see up ahead something that might not actually be good. He can tell, he can see the future, we cannot. So don't be afraid to take rests and take Sabbath seriously in this season. Don't be afraid to like take your foot off the gas, because rest is biblical. Rest is Holy Spirit led as well, because sometimes God will lead you to a season of rest when other people aren't resting, for example. can often feel like that spiritually. It can often feel like we are recovering. We're in so many challenges. We're in the weight room. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. And you have to really amp yourself up because not everyone understands. Not everybody is going to jump up and down and be on board with you. Some people, they're going to rather sit on the couch, watch Netflix, and eat takeout. Like, what could that be in the spiritual version? That could be, you know, God called them, but dealing with laziness, addiction, or maybe just addicted to comfort. I feel like one of the most unspoken addictions is addiction to not wanting to leave our comfort zone because we're afraid. We're afraid of what people might think of us. We're afraid that we might fail. If this video found you, He's preparing you for that great thing. Don't get discouraged. Be encouraged. God loves you so much. He believes in you. Otherwise, He wouldn't have called you to do it. I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye.